everybody, and welcome back to the Winthrop Weekly Update. It's been a while. This is the first one of the fall semester. We haven't done this since April, I think, and things look a little different now. We have a camera. We didn't have that last time. You can see me and also other people. Phoenix isn't here. They are not feeling well today, so it's just me and a bunch of Smash guys. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Yeah, so today what we're going to do is we are going to watch the Riptide finals that you guys recently competed in as a team, and yeah, we're just going to have a good time with that and have a fun conversation, I guess. But yeah, let's go down the line and you guys can introduce yourselves, IGN name if you want it, and what characters you play.
Hi, my name's Christian. My tag is Peab, and I play Mega Man.
All right, I'm Justice. Justice. I play Min Min.
Hey everyone, my name is Matthew. I go by NoTag, and I play Mario.
Perfect. Amazing. I play Cloud, but I'm not that good.
Lamau.
So yeah, let's watch this. Let's watch this game. So this was what, a week ago?
Yeah. This was about last week, Sunday.
Okay, great.
It's a crisp 3 p.m.
Ooh, and we're starting with you, Christian. All right. Let's Oh, and we can. Oh my God, there's two of you. Look at that.
Yeah.
So we've got Mega Man here. For anyone out there who's never heard of Mega Man, what's going on right now?
So, if you haven't heard of Mega Man, that's okay. Not many people have. But what I want you to know is that he can do a lot of things. And you're going to see some stuff that you may not have seen before. That's okay. It's all part of the ride, I guess. We're going to see... So one thing that you might have heard is that this is a bad matchup for my robot companion on the other side. There's Rob, by the way, the bigger robot. His name is Rob. Historically speaking, I do pretty okay versus Rob, but he's still like a very good character and can still make things happen. But I would say between the two of us, I have a slight edge.
Why is that?
So you can see right here, Rob can't play the game, and he died because he couldn't play the game. So Rob is a character with a lot of strengths himself, but somehow Mega Man's strengths kind of clash or out strength or outpower Rob's strengths. So like whenever Rob wants to toss an item at Mega Man, Mega Man happens to be one of the best characters in the game with an item because now he has like broken cancels off of those items. He has ways. Mega Man also, and by the way, the item that Rob has is the top. That was a good confirm from Atomic there. Whenever top is out on the field, I could either pick it up with like a pellet, as you saw there, just literally just mashing the A button can pick up items. And if I get that in my hand again, we could see me go for like a crazy confirm that gets me kills, where I can get the look at that double parry. Oh my. Oh, hello. But then I missed the punish. Don't look at that part. Ignore that. Scrap that. Hey, I got the up tilt anyways, and that's a big punch. For those of you who have not seen Mega Man before, that is just a big punch. It kills people. Nothing simpler. Here's up air. If you have seen Game & Watch before, you'll know up air because it just puts people up, and then you can up air some more. Up and up and up.
Do you think there are people in the world who know who Mr. Game & Watch is, but not Mega Man?
Maybe people who... Yeah, because there are definitely people that were born in the 80s and got like a Game & Watch growing up, but not a Mega Man game growing up. And then there's also people who just watch Top Level Smash, purely Top Level Smash, and they may have seen grand finals of big tourneys, and they'll see Game & Watch there, but not Mega Man.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, so you other guys, would you... What is your expert analysis on this Mega Man matchup? Do you guys enjoy playing against Mega Man?
do I enjoy playing against? I think Mega Man is really fun to fight just because I get to control the neutral in a sense that like Min Min and Mega Man have similar strengths in terms of lateral coverage. But what makes the matchup so interesting is that Mega Man is really good at coming in. Well, I force Mega Man to come in at diagonals rather than just playing straight across from me. And that's where all of like the interactions come out. And it's like the same thing with like this Rob and Mega Man matchup where Mega Man I feel like is so good at stopping Rob from coming in at the diagonal. Normally when you watch Rob, you see him a lot coming in through the air, jumping in, using landing aerials, but he necessarily can't because as you just saw, like the Rob tried to jump in and then Mega Man immediately snuffed it out because he has like that back air, that like multi like blade thing. He has forward air. Look at that. You've never seen Rob play more grounded unless they're down tilting, but like he doesn't even really want to do that because he's afraid of like shield or parry down tilt into like Mega Man up smash or up tilt. And so, yeah, I think Mega Man is a very interesting character to fight against and to watch in this situation.
Yeah, as for me, as a Mario, I actually do like fighting Mega Man too. And I have like a lot of Mega Man friends outside of good old Christian here. So I have a good bit of experience, but fighting every Mega Man is, whew, it's quite an experience.
Is Christian the best?
In my opinion, yes.
It's pretty I think it's undisputed, like not close.
I needed that today.
So I'm curious. Oh yeah, thanks. You seem to have like a pretty like vivid understanding of the Mega Man Rob matchup. Is this something that like you guys all prepared for as a team, knowing you'd likely play against this guy?
I would say probably like we've been around like this is our year, essentially our second year all together.
Mm-hmm.
And we've done crew battles. We've seen Christian play against other Robs in bracket and win. Sometimes he loses, but that's not really often. And like going against UTA, like we all pretty much knew that grand finals is going to be us versus UTA. And so I don't want to say we all sat down and be like, okay, this is the Mega Man Rob thing. It was more like, okay, Christian's going in on Rob, who's down? And then we all sit down. And then it worked out that way.
Okay.
And especially against this team in particular, because their two best players is Atomic and Beastly. And both of these matchups get covered by Mega Man. Because since they're both item characters, Mega Man abuses items probably harder than everyone else on our team. And so it doesn't really matter if they started Beastly or Atomic. Christian was probably just objectively the best send for that. You have any thoughts on this, Matt? All good.
So this Smash just as a game in general is a very like individualistic esport because you see a lot of the top level and I see you guys play in a lot of like singles tournaments as well.
Mm-hmm.
What goes into the process of preparing as a team and how does that like differ from your own preparation as an individual player?
Does anyone else want to answer this, or because I haven't? Sure.
So our prep as a squad, sometimes we'll have sessions, and by sometimes I mean it's kind of rare, but we've had a couple sessions where we actually just go in and look at a couple players from the opponent's side, and we'll see exactly who they are. And I like to ask a lot of questions. That's the kind of person I am because I want to know things, and so I'm just going to ask any question I could think of. The basis of learning comes from who, what, when, where, why questions. So in the one or two sessions that we've had where we try and go in and figure people out, it's probably like maybe 3 or 4 sessions, I think.
Over the course of how long?
Over last year.
Okay.
We will, or at least I will, try to figure out the whole context of who someone is and then share it with everyone else. And of course I value everyone else's observations. When we work together, it's multiple computers working on the same problem rather than just one. You've probably seen Dexter's Laboratory or whatever growing up. Like he's got a ton of computers, not just one. Makes everything easier to compute when you have a lot of people looking at something. So once we do figure out everything about someone, then we can come up with a plan that works for everyone. It was mentioned that I do well versus Beastly and Atomic, and that's not looking too deep into things. It's just looking at character. But like we've discussed Beastly before. He's a masher. So when the whole squad knows that, we all have game plans individually for how to beat a masher, right? If I falter, which I have and will, I have confidence knowing that the next person that goes in knows how to deal with Beastly. So it's definitely like, sure, yes, just on paper the quickest answer, put me in versus these guys, but anyone can do it because we've discussed it.
That's nice. I like that. I've competed in like track and cross country, and those sports are also really individualistic. But a big thing that in those sports that also carry to this is just everyone working together to get better. Essentially, when Christian gets better and I am losing to Christian, it then motivates me to get better so I can stop losing to Christian. And then there's like this huge circle of everyone wants to beat each other because, you know, it's an individual game. We're going to eventually all have to play in tournament against each other. But rather than looking at each other as like enemies, we can do it more as like goals or like benchmarks. And so it keeps everyone motivated to get better in like not as a toxic way as like just raw competition would be.
Yeah, it's more so like we all like look at each other as rivals and as teammates. Here we can be described as so much like that of like a grinding family, more so. We all have like really good bonds. We all want each other to perform well. We all want to get better together. And of course we all want to like do well within the crew battles and, you know, win championships. And we all really do our best to like really come up with like plans and a lot of like other things in order to like really achieve those goals together.
Well said, Matt. Well said.
That's awesome. We've been talking about things that are not the game that we're watching, so let's dive in real quick to what just happened. You're at 6 stocks already.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. It's 12 total, yeah. So you've taken the relay halfway there already. What is like the benchmark for you feel like you've pulled your weight in a crew battle like this?
So there's stock count, and my benchmark is 3. But I always want to make sure that even when I'm out of the game, I'm still doing stuff, because I can still provide insight to my teammates. Like, let's say I take 3 and then the other guy takes my stock instantly. I'm out, but I at least fought the next guy, at least a little bit. I could maybe give some insight if we didn't already know about that guy, and then whoever takes the baton from me takes that and acts on it, right? So my benchmark is more so give ammo to the rest of my team to finish the job.
That's cool. Anyone else have an answer to that?
I think everyone, we are, in terms of skill, I think in comparison to the rest of the crews out there, I think we could join, like any of us like individually can join a team and then become like the best player on that team.
Wow.
Not like true for every case, but like I think pretty much all of them. So I think roughly like all of our goals are realistically like 3 stocks, but I think it's more about setting our team up for a better position. So like, for example, earlier in this tournament, we had a lead, but then they sent in this Pokemon trainer player and his tag was Quid. And I was sent in to handle Quid, and I didn't beat him. I did bring him down to the last stock, and so we still had a lead, and rather than being up like 6 stocks or something, we were up like 2 and with a counter pick. And so a lot, like, even though if we don't win, like I have, like Christian mentioned it earlier, like I have complete faith in my team to handle the job that like I can't finish. And so it's just making sure our team can be in a winning position. That's all I really care about. I don't really care about stocks or like how much you do like on the next guy. Is like, are we up, or do we have a good counter pick going into the next guy? Like, I think being able to set us up for success is like the really only big thing. Like if I go in on someone's one stock and then lose, like we still got 3 other guys to handle the job. And so like, yeah, it's just setting up for winning positions. That's what I consider success as.
And also just really to add on to that, it's not really just like checking and performing and prepping like in game and whatnot. It's also out of game too, which of course both of these guys already mentioned some things already. But it's also like checking each other's like, you know, mental. Of course, we also do like the planning stuff that we all like, you know, come up with like a solution together. Making sure each other's like, you know, hands are warm. That's why I like usually have like these hand warmers to really like help warm up the like the next players.
No way, dude.
Oh man. But yeah, normally I carry around some hand warmers to really like, help warm up our next player we're potentially probably going to send in for like an example. And just like a lot of things that happen both in and out of game, so we can make sure that we are properly prepped for like the next opponent.
Sweet. As far as like your character rosters go, does any planning go into like which of your characters complement each other the best? Like as far as which 4 of you to send in? Because I know you mentioned about like the matchup specific thing, but is there any like cross character considerations like that? Like does Mega Man work well with Min Min in a specific way, for instance?
I think this is a really good question for me because I'm the guy in charge of sending at all of our players.
Cool.
I have pretty much, I want to say like 90% of the say for who we send in next. And I do believe that, for example, like me and NoTag here, Matt, have a really good cross-reference in terms of matchups, because all of the matchups that give like Mario trouble, Min Min handles, and so we can like send in Matt early, and then they'll send in their counter pick for Matt, and then if he wins, that's awesome, but if he loses, then I just get to go in for free and just start like tearing down the house. For example, we had before the final day, we had a crew battle on Saturday against this one team, and they had this Ice Climbers player, and his tag was Ferb. And so we're like, okay, let's send in Lima first. He plays Bayo. We're going to send Lima's probably our best player, best or second best player. And so Ferb on the first match just kind of destroys Lima, and it wasn't really close. And so normally it's like, okay, dang, we just lost our best player on the first go. What are we going to do? And then I was like, don't worry, guys. It's Min Min Ice Climbers. And then so I go in and I don't even get hit once. And then I destroy that Ice Climbers. And so a lot of it is just trying to understand like where their threats are and where we can start to gap. Because like I said earlier, we are the best school objectively. And there's like 1 or 2 other schools that we have to like really focus on like counter picking. But a lot of the times, like I, as a picker, am looking for win conditions. So if their best player like beats Mega Man, for example, but then if we can, like if the character that is used to beat Mega Man just loses to like Lucas really, really hard, it's like, okay, we're gonna send Peabnut in, and then he's gonna go in and he's either gonna win or lose. And then after their best answer to Mega Man is gone, most of the time they don't really have picks to keep up with our school's like pace in terms of skill, and so I just want their one answer as soon as possible, and then we can just kind of like pretty like just win cleanly from there on. And so yeah, like there is a lot of like matchup crossover between like, okay, well if Mario goes like for example, I remember last year the national championships, we had our answer for Beastly, it was to be NoTag, and so we would send in Peeb or Christian. I gotta work better on saying your actual names on camera, you know.
We introduced both.
I
so
know
that
it
you
is
could do
tough.
both.
And so we'd send in Christian, and then he lost to Beastly, and then I was like, all right, perfect, Mario time. And then Matt cleaned up, and so it was just pretty clean. And so yeah, a lot of matchup crossover between like who we're sending.
That's really cool. Do you guys ever like pull out a secondary character specifically for that purpose? Or any
Absolutely
purpose?
not. There is 0 people. there used to be Matt Samus, but that was the only exception. There is never and will ever be a situation in Cruise where we will allow someone to not go their main unless it's Matt Samus, but he also drops Samus, and so there's zero chance that's ever happening.
Okay, this is a very intense answer. I need to hear. I need to hear the other two perspectives on this. Why did you get so worked up about this?
I don't know. I mean, Matt Samus was also the only answer I could come up with, but like he said, like Matt could say for himself if you give him the dang thing.
In all reality, even though I still like drop Samus, she still is like still like my number 2, like second best character, and still can compete with like the best of the best. So realistically, I still can pull her out only when as needed. So I can say we need her as a counter pick. I can always like go in and just use Samus. Just need like a little bit of time to, of course, warm her up, and we're good. And luckily, she's like an easy character to like really maintain. So I probably just need like 2 games maybe, get her back up to speed, and she's performing just about the same level I was performing before I dropped her too. And I'm still improving as a player as well, so I still get new perspectives and new like ways of thinking when I'm playing her. So I'm still getting new ideas. So even now, she's like still improving. It's just I might be like a little rusty with like my movement or something, but she's still usable as a counter pick. But I'm only trying to still just play Mario just so I can become better as a player, like a bit faster. Because it's easier to like grow as a person or as a player if you just like solo main rather than playing multiple different characters. Because you force yourself to place yourself in those uncomfortable situations so that you can learn faster and better, rather than just having a secondary character that just like allow you to just get past those situations for like free or just a lot easier. Really great for growth.
The only reason why I was so pressed, it was more of like an attitude thing. I don't want to send in a player that's like, yeah, I'm feeling Lucas. Oh, not Lucas. That's a bad example. I'm feeling Palutena today. Therefore, I'm going Paul. It's like, no, your job is to go in as Greninja, and you will do your Greninja job, or your Bayo. Like, it's just we don't really have the time or the need to send in someone's random character when our like goal is to win. Like, Cruise is a game determined by stocks, not by winning and losing, and so every stock matters, and somebody's random secondary is just way more likely to give up a lead. Like, you can still win, but it wouldn't win as hard or as needed as like your main would. And it's also just mainly like an attitude, like goofing off thing to go your secondary. And so you always want to make sure you're doing your job. And then, somebody really handsome is on stream, and he won.
Oh, wow.
Oh
he
my
won.
God.
And that's the set too.
No, that was game 1.
Oh, well, that's okay. I see.
That's game 1. Now we got to clean house for one more game.
That is okay. I'm learning the terminology. This is game 1. Okay. I actually did have a question about like picking the order and everything. Is that something that is determined before? Like, do you have like a submitted 4 order, or is it one guy's out, then you get to pick?
It depends on the league or the tournament.
Oh, I see.
There are some where we have to essentially there are some leagues where we have to submit our team before the game starts, and we can change the teams like after each game. But at NECC, like the biggest one where we go to Texas for, we were allowed to just send in pretty much anyone. We didn't have to lock in 4. And I like it that way because that that means we get to use our full strength as a team. There are some leagues that we will have to be doing over the course of the season where we'll have to lock in 4 before we start, and that's when it gets like really hard because it's like you're essentially playing Pokemon at that point. It's like you want to make sure like the matchups are really thought out and really internalized. And so when we play in matches where we have to submit our 4, there's way more research and way more prep time that goes into those games, whereas where we can just send in anyone we want.
I'm glad you brought that up, the Pokemon example, because it does kind of feel like an RPG at that point. You're like selecting your party. It's 4 people too, so it kind of works with like the Persona model, where you have like the people sitting in the whatever rest room, the classroom or whatever, and you got the other 4 taken down. I don't know, God, whatever.
I will defeat God.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have played that game, but that is not an exaggeration. So, Mr. Ten Stocks over here, what does this do to your confidence, your ego after a performance like that?
Well, if you think about it, you'll probably end up doing worse. So we're gonna see me. Well, no spoilers, but I've observed often and recently that a lead or momentum can easily be redacted or go in reverse, right? We just had a crew battle that took place here where every time a team won the first game, like the first match between two people, they would lose the actual game. Like all of their stocks would deplete first. So even though they had a lead at the very start, they would lose. The second someone thought, "Oh, we're in the lead. We're hot right now." You start thinking about it, you'll actually end up losing. So when it comes to maintaining a lead, I guess you just have to not think about it. Just continue. I think when I was there doing my 10 stocks, I wasn't thinking about it. I was just like, where am I? I was just playing the game. I wasn't really paying attention to anyone around me. I was just sat there with my controller in hand, and whoever they would send up, I would just play against it, and I would happen to win. But then, when I'm like, ooh, I'm hot right now. I just got 10 stocks. Let me see if I could do it again. Then I don't get 10 stocks. So just pretend you're in your room by yourself playing Smash. Just you're at ease, not thinking about anything. You're just playing. Just let the fingers do the talking, and I think you'll do better.
What does that Zen mode look like for you guys up there on the stage?
For me, I think I just look pissed. I think my goal is I think I'm probably one of the more emotional players on the team, like visibly when I'm playing. And in crews, whenever I go up and play, I am playing for my team. Sometimes it's hard to play for yourself, but it's really easy to say, I don't want my team to lose. And so when I think about the thought of like me playing and then having a bad effect on my team, like I make the game personal. And so I just want, like, for me to like be at my best, I want to make things personal. And so when I play against somebody else, I like treat it as an attack on like my team. And so I just really want to go in and then, stop the attack and defend my guys. And so like when I was playing this weekend was so fun for me because I got to, like, Min Min is one of the best like counter pick characters in the entire game, and I got to go in on 2 different Ice Climbers players and like 2 different Kazuya's, and like Min Min just destroys those characters. But I didn't go in thinking like, oh, I'm gonna go destroy these characters and play these really fun matchups. Like I went in thinking, I was like, if I let them touch me once, my entire team loses and everyone will blame me and it will be an embarrassment. And so like I went in and I just really tried super hard to focus handling on business and to do my job so that we can stay successful.
For me, it's a bit different. So before, when I was like, before I went to the military, because I am prior military, I went to the Navy back in like 2017, and before I went there, I started competing like the very end of 2016. So I was like very, should I say it, a little like, I wouldn't say childish, but I used to like dream a lot. So before, I used to like kind of like look at it as like a movie or like some type of anime episode, of course, when I would play back then. And of course the military helped change that, and I got like a lot more realistic. And it's like before I used to play with like a good bit of emotion. Then after the military, I learned how to play without emotion. So for me, I kind of swap back and forth depending on the situation or how I have to play, for me. And when I get really locked in is when I have like a really good synergy of moving back and forth between both modes for me.
That's cool. You're Todoroki.
He's cool. It's my favorite character in My Hero too.
Nice. Mine is Mirio, Lemillion. That's my boy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite My Hero character?
I shouldn't say it.
What do you mean you shouldn't say it?
Bakugo's mom.
Okay, you shouldn't have said it. All right, your turn.
That's mine too. No, I'm kidding. Dude, I really like the frog girl.
Oh yeah, Sue.
Sue, she's cool. She's
Yeah.
cool. She keeps it real.
What do you like about Bakugo's mom?
Next question.
Thank you.
Okay. I see you.
So yeah, back with this game.
Yeah, Christian's losing right now. This is not good. Oh, never mind. That was the nastiest Metal Blade backer I've ever seen in my entire life.
How loud do you guys get? Like for those of you who are like next up or watching, like where I don't know where you guys are like in relation to the stage.
We're
right
like
here.
directly behind them. We're
Oh,
kind of
really?
far
So
away.
you're-
But like you can see like our feet or something.
Okay. How loud do you guys get?
It honestly depends on the person because there's like players like me where I like noise and I like being cheered for. But then there's some players where it's just like, shh, don't say a thing. And so it's really, really I think it actually is just strictly dependent on who's playing and what we're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's the one who wants quiet among you guys or among the rest of the team?
It depends, because sometimes I remember one instance where I would go up to each player and ask, like, do you want us to be loud? I remember doing that for what was it? What we did in May, the Grands Championship, whatever.
CCC.
Yes, for CECC. So usually I'm a quiet guy, but if someone does better with someone cheering for them, then I will cheer.
That's cool. So who wants like the full Zen like peacefulness? Like who did it in this tournament? Was anyone like that for this tournament?
Probably Lima.
Mm.
I think Lima is like, you can talk to him up to the point where he's on the stage. As soon as that guy is playing, like that guy is one of the best players in the world. You just let him work. Like that is fine. Matt, how are you? I don't know if you're a cheerer or a quiet guy.
I'm more so of a cheerer, and it doesn't matter if like you cheer me on or if like you boo me. Due like to my upbringing, I really get how to like work well with both. So it's either or for me, but I do like being cheered for.
Sweet. Okay. Well, if I go to the next one, then I'll know to cheer for you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll be sitting next to you guys, but you know, maybe I'll be like all the way in the back so that I can cheer either way, so that like you won't even hear me anyway, because I'm probably gonna get really excited.
I'm a really big fan of the "We Love Midman" chant.
Oh yeah.
That one is so iconic. I've a clip of it of like me versus Big D doing the "We Love Midman," or like me versus Leo with the "We Love Midman." And it like ever since I moved away from Washington, I haven't had it much, and so I really miss it. Is because the joke is everyone hates Midman really
Oh,
bad.
really?
That's what makes it really funny. It was started by like Moxie at the first offline event back in like 2022, 2021 era. Moxie doesn't like Midman, but I was on stage versus someone from a rival region, and she started going crazy with like a "We Love Midman" chant, and it like blew my mind, and that's when I became like friends with her. And so it's like a really sweet chant for me.
That's cool. What is the character that you hate the most, Christian?
Can I guess?
Sure.
Yeah, I guess.
I think Hero.
I'm thinking Palu.
Those are good guesses. I don't hate them per se. They've given me trouble. But why would I hate that?
So true.
I welcome trouble.
Okay, well, what's
The
the
who-
closest character to that? What is your what's your rival character?
Pichu.
What about Pichu makes you tick?
You said rival, and it just reminded me of early Ultimate, NoTag, Matt, do you recall Randy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%.
So he and I were, and by the way, that's Arfang, if you don't know Justice. Arfang and I were rivals. So when you said rival, I just thought about Pichu and Randy. But early Ultimate, it was us two competing for #1 in South Carolina for the first couple of years of Ultimate.
Is he wearing sunglasses on stage while playing?
Those are blue light lenses.
Oh, okay. Okay. I support this.
Yes.
Go on.
I'm trying to get those too. I heard those are good. But
I've got blue light blocking on, actually. Not as intense as that.
But yeah, just Pichu. That's like an iconic matchup for me. Mega Man Pichu. I don't I guess that really doesn't answer your question. I don't hate Pichu, but
I changed the question for you.
Okay.
I do want to know what characters you guys hate though.
You can go first, bro.
Yeah, you can go first. I'm still trying to say.
Dude, I have like a solid. I think I can name 3, like no hesitation, no doubt. But #1 most undisputed character that I despise in this game, and it takes a lot for me to like despise a character. I'm a very like I don't hate play styles. I've never disapproved of play styles. I think play style how I viewed Smash tournaments are like talent shows, and whatever somebody like when they play in a tournament, that's their talent. And like practicing for a talent show takes practice, and practice is like never lame. And so I'm not like a hateful guy when it comes to these things. But Hero pisses me off so much. Like Hero will just stand full screen, shoot them like lightning bolt, and if I use my arms, then I get punished for it. And then if I don't use my arms, then all of a sudden Hero is turning red and green, and then I have to start using my arms so he stops turning red and green, and then I'm getting zapped again. And so like I just can't stand Hero. I think he's super evil and vile. And then my second most despise character in the game is easily Dr. Mario. I like Dr. Mario. I have never liked since Melee. Like I have always thought Dr. Mario as like the least useful waste of space character slot since I started competing in Smash.
This is like elementary school bully trauma that
Dude.
you're describing right now.
Yeah, it's insane. I've just never liked Doc, and in this game, he just touches me and then dies. And then I recently found out that it's like a Min thing because I was playing Young Link the other day against a Dr. Mario, and I was getting hit by none of the combos that I always get hit with. And then I played Min, and then I immediately started getting hit with the combos that I hate. And I was like, okay, well, this just extra sucks now. And so, yeah. And then, like, third is King K. Rool. That guy is just so annoying. He just throws Crown. And then everyone just tells me to grab him for throwing Crown. But Min-Min's grab is frame 18, so I actually can't punish it. It's like I have to be, like, frame perfect to punish Crown toss, which is really frustrating. And so, like, yeah, those are easily, like, my 3, like, most annoying, like, characters.
For me, it's a bit weird because like most of like the characters that I quote unquote hate, which is more so like a dislike for me, is like more so characters I really don't understand enough. Like I used to hate Snake a lot, especially like in the beginning of my career. I used to like really despise Snake, but the more and more I learn about like really the matchup and just about Snake in general, I've come to really tolerate him more. And honestly, that was a really good play.
Crazy.
That was a really good play.
That killed still. It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to me.
But yeah, I used to hate a lot of characters like Snake, Pichu back in the day, Yoshi, for example. But now that I really got like a little better at the matchups and have a better understanding of the characters, I can understand how they have to work hard and like kind of what they go through and like their mentality whenever like they do play, especially when they play against a Mario and whatnot. And now that I have a better understanding of like what they go through, like I said, again, it's like more tolerable. So I don't really have any characters I truly like hate, more so characters I don't understand. Well, dislike because I don't understand them yet. I do have characters I do love fighting though.
Are you the type of guy who learns better about characters by playing them yourself or playing against them?
It's a mix of both for me, because you still get like 2 different perspectives on it. Because it's like completely different when you like play as the character versus when you play against the character.
The only time I've tried that was last year. There was a matchup that like Min theoretically wins super hard, but I've never understood it. And it was the Min versus Belmonts. Like Min pretty much like destroys that character, but I've always struggled with versus Belmonts, and I never understood why. And it wasn't me playing Belmonts that made me realize how it worked. It was me playing Belmonts against another Min that made it work. Oh my god, turn 1 Stitch pull. Are you kidding me? But I remember playing against CJ's Min with my Belmonts, and I finally figured out why that matchup sucks because I played it out, and I learned because I don't like committing with Min. I think that sucks, and so I learned that Min can F smash through cross. And I never realized that you could do that just because F smashing in neutral isn't my like forte. And so it was really funny because soon after I played and I learned the Belmonts through that practice, I immediately had to play the best Belmont player in the world, T3 Dom, and then I beat him. And so I've only done that one time, but it worked really well. And so if I can like have somebody that I can play against their Min with some character, I think I would be able to understand a lot more matchups and figure stuff out that way.
That's cool. You have an answer to that?
Usually I play against the character or study. One time ever I tried to play, well actually a couple times. I just remembered I did play on Quick Play as Game & Watch when I was studying for Mia, just to understand Game & Watch a little better. But more recently I played Palutena in friendlies versus my friend Dalton, and I learned some key insights about Palutena. So that is an underrated way to understand a character better, just playing as them.
All right, I think we have one more like map, right? Or
map.
I don't know.
So we have Connor versus Memphis, and then Connor versus Skits, and then me versus Skits.
Oh, okay.
So we got a little bit more, but I really want to better words. I really want to watch this Regalo game.
Okay.
Because what he does with Lucas versus Peach is so much. It's so fun to watch. It's so crazy, and then he always just like blows him up. And so I want to see where he finds these blow ups, and then like where we can
Okay.
make out of them.
Let's then instead pivot for this. What is it? If it's not map, what is it?
Game.
Well, the game was the full crew battle thing. I thought that one was
okay.
set.
So there's. We can go with stage.
Yeah.
Stage works.
Or
Stage
match.
works for me.
There's a match in a game, and so normally how a set works in like on a 1v1 is there's 3 to 5 or it's a best of 3 or a best of 5, and let's just use best of 5. And there's the set, and then the first to 3 wins in a best of 5 wins the set. What makes this interesting is because there's multiple games to win one, and so I guess we should call it a match. Or I think a stage, either stage or a match.
Stage makes sense to me.
I don't.
I mean, they are playing on literal stages.
Yeah.
Like there is a stage select where you choose the stage.
But it's not like shooters where like you win on like, let's use CS:GO for example. You don't win on dust, or in you like CS:GO you win on like dust, and you're like, okay, I won the dust map. But like no one's like, okay, I won on stadium in crew battles. Like, and so. Well, I'll figure it out. I'm going to go with match for now.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess double game would be confusing.
Right. Well, either way, I want to... Oh, my God.
Nice recovery.
Okay, well, I was going to suggest that you guys just commentate the game or the map or the stage, whichever. But we already saw one of the most brutal stocks. But yeah, let me hear it. What do you find interesting about what's going on here? That could be anybody.
So I've looked at Lucas recently because I want to understand the character better after losing to Connor in a weekly. And I like to simplify the things that I see in the game. So like if someone wants to get next to you because they have like a really broken combo, I just call them Akazuya Kazuya is a character in Smash who is iconic for having like 0-2 death combos. So he just touches you once and that's your stock, right? I see Lucas as like a little mini Kazuya, where he just wants to, if possible, run up on you as soon as the game starts, get his own electric combo. They both characters use electricity in their combos. And once he hits you with one big one, it'll put you off stage, and then maybe he could get a bear, which is what happened in the first stock. So I'm just looking for that. I'm just looking for every little bit where he's a Kazuya, and that's like confirmation to me that I'm on the right track with what Lucas is, or at least how Connor plays Lucas. Another electric right there, by the way.
Oh wait, does this kill? No, okay. What I like Lucas's lateral control, but what makes the matchup so interesting for me is because
Whoa. Brutal.
That's a crazy noggin. But what I like about Lucas in like the Peach matchup is because Lucas has like insane lateral control with like PK Fire, but because Peach can choose where to float in laterally, a lot of the PK Fires won't hit because Peach can just kind of float above them. And so it's up to Lucas to use probably more of his like better or like juggle aerials or big poke kill move. Like his fair is just a really strong kill move, but he can also suck and do nothing. And so it's probably like that matchup in game to me looked like a lot of like Lucas trying to get under Peach and then Peach floating away and then trying to land in. And so a lot of them have like good close quarter normals, and like seeing how they interact is fun. And so that's what I like about it.
Cool. Any thoughts, Matt? I guess the set's already done.
Yeah. Now we can get your thoughts on the Lucas Wario incoming.
I'm not the best person to ask about Wario, as one of the characters I do not understand. Probably the biggest one I don't understand the most at the moment. I really don't fight Wario's too much, but I'm definitely going to hope to learn in the future.
So you're going to be watching the most out of this then?
Really more so kind of how like Wario likes to move, what he really wants to do, how he likes to avoid like a lot of like people, some of his gimmicks, especially like how he kills, how he conditions to kill, you know, just some of the basic stuff. For example, Wario's an interesting character, especially I haven't really like seen too much of him.
Yeah, I feel like there aren't that many characters in the game that like do better or even interact at all with the clock in the game.
But yeah, no, Wario is like forced to interact with the clock. Oh, also, Wario fun fact: if he hits Nair 1 on your shield, you can let go of your shield and it will true parry into the second hit. Like that's just a thing you can always do. Took me a second to like get used to the timing, but Wario hits Nair 1 and then he's trying to set up because Wario has his Nair is his main combo tool, and it requires to hit both because you can't just hit one and then combo into anything. So he's always trying to set up both hits, and so you can drop shield and do nothing, and then it'll automatically parry, and so you can get a good punish. But we also saw Connor just do immediate rising Nair because it was fast enough in between the Nair 1 and Nair 2 hit, and so he's a pretty interesting character.
Cool. Is there a player that plays the same character as you that you have seen play and drawn inspiration from in your own gameplay?
For Mega Man, there's a lot of other Mega Men to draw inspiration from. I couldn't just name one. I will name one. I'll name someone who played really, really simply, and I thought that was beautiful. Their name is Toffee. They're a Midwest Mega Man. I forget exactly which state. Sorry, Toffee, but I watched Toffee play against Best Ness, or Send, like maybe a year ago, and I watched that set, and I watched Toffee 3-0 that player, and I'm like, wow, he really just plays Mega Man like a normal sword character. Like it's as if the projectiles don't even exist with Mega Man. He's literally just fairing and bearing, and he 3-0'd Send, the best Ness in the world at the time. So I thought that was inspirational. And then I used that information to win my set versus Send when I played Send.
For me, it's pretty much only Doramigi. A lot of the American Minmins I don't think exist. Like Zurzel lives in middle of nowhere land, and Peckham is an accountant for Riot Games, and so like whenever Zurzel does get to play, I do like to watch, but mainly Doramigi. He's from Japan. Ugh, why is my throat hurting? I'm crying now. What the hell? I just thought of Doramigi's beautiful play. But you know, Doramigi, he's like on a good day, like a freshman in high school, and he's like number 12 in the world. And he is just a hyper offensive min. And how I've inspired my plays to be the exact opposite of him is because I do really like watching what he does, but I just know that he plays that way because he's so young and doesn't have the concept of death in his head. Whereas where I'm afraid of death, he is not afraid of death. And so sometimes I go into phases where I call it Doramigi mode, where I'll go for like just like a huge like or big random like a grab that seems out of nowhere, and if I get something off of it, then it's like a huge reward. But I try to play as like safe as possible, where I feel like Doramigi just plays as like offensive and risky as possible, and he's just so good at it. Like, and it's a skill that I can't comprehend, and so I try to watch to see if it's not really as random as it seems, and it's more like calculated, and he's just really good at calling out people's habits. But I try to be the exact opposite with glimpses of Doramigi's greatness. And somebody handsome is on the stream again.
For me, I kind of take like inspirations from like multiple like different players, not just my character too. Like as for the Marios, I've taken inspiration from players like Snow, Karama, like a mid-level Mario player, a friend of mine named Kai Wizzy, for example. And it's really like helped me to like mold myself into like really taking the good things out of like a lot of those players, for example. And again, sometimes I don't even look at just take inspiration from Mario players. Sometimes I do it from like other characters similar to mine, like my static doubles partner named Bacon. I take some inspiration from him since we play a similar character, because he plays Dr. Mario, and Dr. Mario is more so like a more volatile Mario, where he's like slower and he has like harder hits, but he has a very similar kit that's very similar to Mario himself, for example. Heck, I even take like some inspiration from like some of my guys too. Like when I was playing Samus, I took like a good bit of inspiration from my boy Justice here. Like we bounced a lot of ideas off each other, and it really was really healthy for my growth as a player and my growth with my Samus too.
That's really cool.
Thanks, Matt.
Nice little team shout out. Wow. Have you guys always played your main character like across different games? Well, I guess that's not possible for Justice, but
I make it a point to really try and play a different character in every game that I play. Like out of the entire team, I want to say I play the most Smash Bros, but not in the sense of like just Ultimate, but I like Smash Con, I enter every Smash game. It's like in 64 I played Yoshi, in Melee I play Sheik, in Brawl. Okay, so Brawl is the only exception, where in Brawl I play Rob, and in Smash 4 I play Rob. And people are like, why don't you play Rob in the good game? It's like, because Rob is just a campy zoner in in Smash 4, and I just like that aspect of the game and how I can control space.
Rob is good in Smash 4 too.
Yeah,
Better than Brawl?
No, not
You don't think so?
not even a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just wrong.
Goodbye, Wario. But yeah, and so I try to play different characters in every game that I play, and then that is the crew battle we win. Hooray!
Congratulations. All right. Well, I guess you guys can also answer that question, but then we'll get you out of here.
For me, I do play Mario throughout every single game. I just like really do love Mario. He's like the character that really inspired me to start playing, especially competitively too. And although it's like very confusing sometimes to like swap between different games to play the same character, it still allows you to like really get a different perspective, so you can like really bring that to your main game. Like I've taken a lot of inspiration from like playing like some like Melee Mario perspectives, Project M/P Plus Mario perspectives, HDR.
That's why you care
and
so much. Oh, I get it now. I get it now. Okay.
and and yeah, I just like that way it really makes me like a really adaptive Mario player. So it really helps my fundamentals out overall. Plus it's fun too.
Cool.
Before I played competitive Smash, I played Brawl and Melee just in my room or versus my cousins, and I would play a bunch of characters. In Brawl, I played like Diddy Kong, Donkey Kong, Ness, Lucas, Link, Lucario, Mario, like half the cast. But if you know me now, or if you've known me for the last few years, you'll know that I just play one guy nowadays, Mega Man. Now that I'm competing, and I've been competing since Smash 4, I found that it's way easier to progress when there's only like one thing to worry about, one guy, right? We play a chaotic game. We don't even know like the difference between a match and a game and a stage and a map. But there's a lot of chaos outside of crew battles. There's like 80 something characters in this game and infinite ways to improve. So I would rather just stick with one guy that I believe can do everything. So that's why I just play Mega Man.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with me, guys, and taking some time out of your Monday evening. Is there any final words that any of you would like to share?
I think I speak for all of us when I say throps out, baby. Woo, throps out. Champions for 2-time. We're going for the double. Big double, right?
Woo, drops out.
Throps out. It throps out.
Throw us out, baby.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. But yeah.
All right, great. Well, yeah, throps out. Thank you so much for joining. Congratulations on the win. And thanks, everyone, for watching, too.
Thank
right
you.
there. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Yeah.